Good afternoon, and I'm not sure what episode I'm up to anymore with this. So this is one of the episodes for my Mum's a Word interview and speaking to Sheila, who kindly wrote for my Mums of Teens section in my book. So thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Yours was actually quite humorous because I was reading them all the other day. So it at the moment it sounds like being a mum of teens is a positive experience, would
For
you say?
me, yeah, I would. And especially the particular one I was talking about have been quite different experiences for me as a mum of two very different teens, as you can imagine. But yeah, I was talking about my daughter, and yeah, I found that really quite fun, to be honest, being a mum to her. Yeah, she kind of grounded me a little bit in a
Mm.
way with, yeah, her maturity. So yeah, it's been quite positive.
And
Yeah.
that's something I've wrote about because I'm going back now and just adding different things to each chapter. But I sometimes feel that I'm not old enough to have the responsibility or not mature enough
Yeah,
to have the
yeah, yeah.
responsibility of a teen.
I
I
get
don't know if
that.
you feel similar. Yeah.
I do, and do you know what? I felt that as a mum from word go. I don't know about you, but I can remember thinking, "Gosh, I've got to look after this little
Mm,
person." And then now, as you say, the things that come with college, uni, career,
mm,
ready
mm.
for almost off. It's like that all happened a bit quick. Yeah.
So you've got a daughter, and you're saying the experience with your son is quite different.
Very different, yeah. So for me, because Lainey's kind of she's whizzed through school, college, quite academic, has enjoyed it all as well, which has been nice. And I'm kind of pleased that she came first because my son has really struggled, as kind of anybody in the school playground would know that knew me. He really struggled with school, didn't enjoy the experience from day one, and has seen me take a completely different path with him. So, I mean, he's good fun, and there's lots of positives, obviously, that come from that. But he's got really bad anxiety that's kind of made me worry about how I get his future secured and
Mm,
what I
mm,
do, because kind of we had to come out of the school system,
mm,
which is quite scary, to be honest, because you're kind of battling what you see is the law at first,
mm,
when you don't know what you can and can't do. So I found that quite challenging at times, but it's one of those things that I think as your mum, the fight's inside and you just do what
mm,
you need to
mm.
do. So yeah, with they're both quite good fun together. It's just a school environment for us. It doesn't suit one, but does suit the
Mm,
other. So
mm.
yeah, it's had its challenges, but yeah, it's
And just to explain, so from those challenges, I guess, and I write this in the book, a lot of my journey has been from challenges, good things have come to it. And you've obviously done a very good thing in setting up a
yeah,
charity.
charity, yeah, which is we're loving actually. So because of Dylan's struggles with his anxiety and just not enjoying the school environment at all, I found that there was little or no support out there for me. Um, and I was just actually reading some paperwork that I'd written only today. And for me, from like kind of saying, can I get some help with this, to actually getting really just a piece of paper that showed me what to do was what was 8 years. I mean, eight
Mm,
years of a child's
mm,
life, it's a long time.
mm,
And then because I was going through that process and kind of fighting the fight, if you like, and I feel like I was strong enough to have that battle, because it is a battle at first, because people are telling you, your child should be in school, you shouldn't be taking
mm,
them out. Despite how it looks like they're kicking and screaming, and the mental health it is without a doubt being affected. Um, you think you're going against the grain. So it was really difficult, but I felt like I was strong enough to do that. And a lot of people around me then came to speak to me about their own experiences. And obviously, some got less strength than I'd got at that point, and they were
mm,
kind of, what
mm,
did you do? How did you do it? So, yeah, we set up the charity to support young people who are struggling to attend school due to their anxiety. And I've set that up, as you know, with what's my friend and is now my co-founder at Hope for More, and we it's thriving, and it's a shame it's needed in one
mm,
hand,
mm,
but I think until we find a different path for those young people, the school environment isn't for everybody, unfortunately. So yeah, we're there to support them and the families through that tricky time.
And I think that goes to show, I mean, this can happen to children of any age, but I think when they're teens, they really do know who they are and what they want at
Yeah,
that point in their life. Um, and that can be quite different to what we perhaps want it to be as well,
yeah,
and
yeah,
fighting against it. And
yeah,
my two older ones are very different. You know, Lennon started his mocks today. Probably hasn't approached them as Gracie had
yeah,
and things like that. But
yeah.
it's also the challenge of not allowing the house to be a battle zone as well, isn't it?
Yeah, 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 it is, and it's keeping that kind of I find at their age, I do believe that, as you say, teenage kicks in and hormones play a part at first in this unsettled feeling that they get. Particularly, we see that with the young people we're working with, and I did see it with my own. And then once they go through that, life changes again a little bit, we've found. But as you say, it's kind of how do you keep that nice, happy family
Mm,
unit when they're all almost ready to go, and friendships are very important, aren't they, as a teen?
yeah.
They want to spend more time with the friends, and they should.
Mm,
That's kind of the right thing for them at that age, isn't
mm.
it? But it's how, I don't know, we're all clinging on to that happy, perfect family life as well, aren't we?
Yeah, yeah. And I
In
think trying to cling on to keeping them in the
the house.
nest as well. Yeah. Um,
Yeah.
I like that. I always feel quite content when everyone's back. And right, we've got through
Yeah,
the day. You know, they've been with, they've
yeah,
been out with friends, and we're here.
yeah.
But it is letting them go and have that independence as well. And
Yeah, it is exactly. And there's times that the house has been like a youth club, and I've just thought,
mm,
do you know what? I'd rather that than to
mm,
be out sat in the field somewhere. And I know
yeah,
that's one thing that they want to do, and some will do, and everything.
mm,
But I've been really pleased that they're prepared to bring mates back, and
mm.
I must admit that's waning off a bit actually with my oldest one. Yeah, that's happening less and less, but I did enjoy it when it was happening.
Yeah, I think they did have that bout of freedom when they left school and moved to college, didn't
Yeah,
they? And they were trying
yeah,
to find,
that's a new balance. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. So what would you say has been your biggest challenge with teens,
With
above and
tea.
beyond, I guess, some of the issues with education?
Yeah. So I guess for me, it's one is what do they want to do after college life? Lainey really does sort of feel she knows what she wants to do, and it's she's kind of setting herself up quite high, what she wants to go off and do. And Dylan, no idea, he doesn't know what to do. So that I'm finding that's difficult in trying to how do you guide somebody that
Mm,
doesn't know what they want
mm,
to do, and you want them
mm,
to be happy and enjoy it, but
mm,
there's not the opportunity for them to taste things very much out
mm,
there. But yeah, the other challenge is for me has been like relationship for my daughter, because that was, I think I've written that for your book, haven't I? I feel
mm,
like the
mm,
first relationship has been perfect in the sense that it's gone full circle, that she's had a lovely time, they were together, it was all very nice, and then it's kind of ended and she had to learn how to deal with the ending as well.
mm.
And it's how they become part of the family for you as well, don't they, at one
Yeah,
point.
yeah.
And I felt lucky because it's not been until she'd kind of left school that that had happened for her. Um, but yeah, that's been tricky to know how to guide her through that. Really, I found that quite difficult because the emotions are there with that one, aren't they? And
Yeah, yeah. And I've not experienced any of that yet. I think that
yeah,
mine are just far too embarrassed to bring anybody home and to
yeah,
admit they're
yeah,
in a relationship.
yeah. So yeah, so I was happy with the age it was happening at and everything like that,
Mm,
but I
mm,
did find it challenging to sort of navigate through the bad parts of it, I guess,
mm,
that are just natural. They're not about anybody. It's nothing like that. It's just their growing up process.
mm.
It's like, oh, when the emotions are involved,
Yeah, yeah.
I found that challenge.
Mm.
Yeah,
And I think that's it. I know people say it all the time to me growing up, but it doesn't get any easier. It's different challenges and different worries, isn't
yeah,
it?
it is. I mean, I've got the new worry now. The driving's coming, isn't it?
Yeah. Mm,
So she's having driving lessons now, and I do think, oh, when the keys to the car are handed
mm,
over,
mm.
that's a new worry, isn't it?
Yeah, yeah.
And that feels like a real worry and challenge
Yeah,
for me. That
yeah.
yeah, I'm
Yeah,
not
and that
used
is
to that one.
definitely when they'll be leaving and having that
Yeah,
independence.
yeah, yeah. And I don't know if I mind the independence as much as the worry about the safety. I
Mm.
think I worry about how do you sort of know, well, you can't, can you? You can't
No,
watch it
no.
24/7.
Mm.
Yeah, it's keeping them safe that
Mm.
I find difficult. Yeah, a struggle. And festivals are coming and
Yeah, and I wrote that in that you want them to be independent and resilient, and but you kind of got to let them go and
got to
explore as
go and
well.
do it, haven't you?
Mm,
Yeah, yeah.
mm,
Um, yeah, so this year we've got like festivals for the first
mm.
time and things like that. And I think all you can do in reality is equip them with
Yeah,
knowledge, isn't it? And how
yeah,
to do the right thing and just hope that they listen and go and do the right thing.
yeah, yeah.
Um,
Oh, well, thank you. I mean, that's
no.
great advice to end
Thanks,
the on.
Kate.
And thank you so, so much for writing for the book.
No,
And
you're
it was a
welcome.
great
Thanks for
read.
asking me. Thank you.
So I do appreciate it. And thanks for your time today as well.
You're welcome. More than welcome. Thanks, Kate.
So.